Welcome to Myanmar Radio's Myanmar Today. I'm Melody, and today we have reports on stocks in June increases 10% compares to May. Demand low in domestic gold market amid COVID-19. Pagodas still remains closed. Coconut and banana market suffers decline. Fish business sees slight slow. Now let's take a look at what's happening in local news. State Councillor Do Aung San Suu Kyi stressed to be alert for maintaining the current achievements in tackling the COVID-19 crisis through her Facebook post on Thursday. She wrote that there raised praises on the work undertaken to tackle the COVID-19 issue in Myanmar. Among them are those who thought the country could not be able to tackle this big issue, and they now recognize the fact that the work undertaken are well planned. She added that this achievement has been gained because of the people-centered approach with the concept of no one left behind. She continued that the journey is not yet over and alert all to maintain the current achievements. She called for strenuous efforts to completely over the COVID-19 crisis with perseverance. The United Nations in Myanmar sent a message of condolences following the tragic landslide in Pakant of Kachin State on Thursday. It stated that they are deeply saddened by the terrible loss of life due to a massive landslide at a mining site in Pakant Township. The United Nations in Myanmar also commended the courageous efforts by the men and women involved in the difficult rescue and recovery efforts and extended its sincere condolences to the families of the victims and wishes the injured a speedy recovery. Ministry of Health and Sports at 8 a.m. on Friday reported no new COVID-19 case after testing 688 lab specimens as the second batch. COVID-19 cases in Myanmar have remained at 304 with 6 deaths. While 223 patients have recovered from the disease, 260 of them have been discharged from the hospitals and put under quarantine. Meanwhile, famous mixed martial arts champion Aula Sang, or Burmese Python, who lived in the U.S., has tested COVID-19 positive. Aula Sang wrote on his Facebook post that he got tested for COVID-19 on Monday. The result came back on Thursday, and he was tested positive. His family and him will be quarantining themselves for the next 14 days. He added that he had a slight fever, congestion, body ache, and fatigue on the first 2 days. That's all with the local news. Now let's take a look at the reports for today. With the situation of COVID-19 quarantine period easing gradually and as the society recovers back from those scenarios, Yangon Stock Exchange has also been using its full strength to get back on track gradually and even having improvements as the stocks in June increases 10% compared to May. We will find out more in our monthly report of YSX from our reporter David Tanner.
Yangon Stock Exchange, as a stock exchange, is a venue to provide opportunities for investors to buy or sell listed companies' shares. As the information on our last report of YSX, the stocks in May increased by 10% if they were compared to April. So the question is that what will be the differences between May and June? Regarding the gradual changes in the situations of COVID-19, Uttaton U, Executive Senior Manager to YSX, will tell us more about the summary of stocks exchanged during the month of June.
In
June, the total 6 listed company traded 221,682 of shares and 1.31 billion chats worth of trades were reached. About over 60 million chats worth of trades were made daily in May. And in the stock indicator, Myanpix, it indicates the stock trade point as 440 through 450 points. It increased about 10% when it was compared in May.
450ကြားအကျဉ်းမှာကျွန်တော်တို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ရောက်ရှိခဲ့တာတွေ့ရမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Uttaton U believes that the youths are really important in the future to carry over the knowledge of stock exchange and how to really make good use by learning it in their life and becomes technicians in the future. Regarding that, Uttaton U also added on the process of the YSX online course and shares us more about who and how can potential participants join this online course.
ရန်ကုန် stock exchange ကလည်းအခုကကိုဗစ်ကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့ကဒီလူစုလူဝေးမလုပ်ရတဲ့ခါကျတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကဒီအားလုံး
As Yangon Stock Exchange has been following the guidelines of Ministry of Health and Sports, we won't be able to gather a lot of people. But it doesn't hinder us from sharing the information and guideline courses regarding the stock exchange to the next generation. With that said, we officially opened our first ever YSX online training course on the 27th of June. The online course takes for 1 month to cover all the fundamentals of stock exchange, and anyone can participate if you have a Google AC installed in your computer or in your phone. The training course consists of real trainings conducted by experienced persons in the field of stock exchange here in YSX, question and answer sections, and other facts regarding YSX and stock market. About 180 participants have been attended now in the YSX online course.
နာနာပေါင်းစုစုပေါင်း280ဦးတက်ရောက်လည်ရှိပါတယ်
Uttaton U also added on about the half-year report of the total 6 listed companies of YSX.
ဂျွန်လကုန်ကတော့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံဒီငွေချစ်သက်တမ်းလက်မှတ်လုပ်ငန်းလဲလှယ်ရောင်းဝယ်နည်းဥပဒေပုံမှန်ခွဲ121အရ
So according to the subsection number 121 of the Securities Exchange Bylaw, the total 6 listed companies have been reported its half-year report statements on the YSX website on 30th of June. And that is why I would like to inform that everyone who is interested in stock exchange, stock market, even people who are interested and want to really dig in and learn more about all of the 6 listed companies YSX can now be able to learn more about those on our Yangon Stock Exchange website.
စတင်ပြီးတော့လေ့လာလို့ရနေပြီဆိုတာလေးကိုကျွန်တော်တင်ကောင်းပါလို့ပါတယ်
Uttaton U also noted that there will be even more gradual increase in shares trading as of July, as the quarantine period will hopefully be eased after the added on 15 days.
ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတော့ဒီကိုဗစ်စဖြစ်တုန်းကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ရန်ကုန် stock exchange အနေနဲ့တော့အခုကျွန်တော်တို့က
At the circumstances on the period of recovery as to the situations of COVID-19, YSX has been operating by dividing 3 assignments and applying work from home system for all employees here. But starting from the 15th of June, YSX has started its operations with the full strength when everyone comes back to office. In my perspective, July will be even better than May and June in terms of stock market circumstances and YSX's operations. I just hope great things for the stock market for the coming up months and years.
ဆိုတော့ဒီကိုဗစ်ကြီးတစ်ဖြည်းနဲ့ရောကြသွားနေတယ်ဒီဘက်မှာလည်းတစ်ဖြည်းနဲ့ရောင်းဝယ်ပမာဏတွေတိုးတက်လာမယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်ယုံကြည်ပါတယ်
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's the report on stocks in June increases 10% compares to May. The gold trade in the domestic market has been currently sluggish, but those who are selling gold back to their gold shops they had bought formerly have been on the increase, a source from the gold shops in Pagodas Township in Yangon region had claimed. Now, it can be said the gold price is stable in the market, but gold demand has been a bit low when it was compared to that before COVID-19, and it accounted for 1/3 of the previous sale force. Zueman, Minton, and Pure Theory has the full report.
The gold trade in the domestic market has been currently sluggish, but those who are selling gold back to their gold shops they had bought formerly have been on the increase, said a source from the gold shops in Pagodas Township, Yangon region. Now it can be said the gold price is stable in the market, but gold demand has been a bit low when it is compared to that before COVID-19, and it accounted for 1/3 of the previous sale force. Ujawin, chair of Myanmar Gold Entrepreneurs Association, said.
အယောင်းဝယ်တော့ဟိုကိုဗစ်ကာလစဖွင့်တဲ့အချိန်နဲ့ဆန်တော့အခုနည်းနည်းလေးပို့ပြီးဟိုအယောင်းဝယ်ပို့ဖြစ်လာတယ်ပေါ့ဆိုလိုတဲ့တဘောက
Now all the businesses are allowed resuming operation, and so gold demand has become a little higher in the market. Those who are selling gold back to the gold shops they had bought previously become more because they are in need of money. All the businesses have not resumed operation yet. Our gold business depends on robust operation of other ones. Only those who have surplus money buy the gold. We will have to take time until other businesses return to normal and win back a status. There is no reason for immediate disappearance of the coronavirus. At such time, all are required to endure to wait for a specific period when the virus is totally under control.
The global gold price was $1,772 per ounce on 30th June, but it rose to $1,784 in the evening of 1st July. Myanmar gold price was 1.215 million jets per nickel on 30th June, but it soared to 1.2165 million jets in the closing hours of evening market on 1st July. Umo Ao, owner of Daiseng Gold and Jewelry Shop, said.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ရှေးဈေးကွက်အနေထားကဈေးနှုန်းအနေထားကိုကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ငြိမ်နေကြ12သိန်းနဲ့1000
The domestic gold price remained between 1.215 million jugs and 1.2165 million jugs. The gold trade in the local market is running quite slow. The sale flow accounted for 30%. Unlike other businesses, our customer sold the gold they bought back to us during the outbreak of the coronavirus. Those selling the gold back are on the increase. The gold buyers decreased in number. The people are back to work now, but they will have to try to be accustomed to the working environment. The people can buy the gold only when they have surplus money. At such a time, they don't think of buying the gold jewelry. We hope our gold business will be back to in the coming Grinchut occasion. This year, time has gone in. There is nothing strange. Time is wasted and no profit has been found in our gold business. It can be said that almost the whole year of the 2020 is useless to us. At that time, we must have enough money in order to give those selling the gold back to us as quickly as possible. For this, we have well prepared, although it is not considered as a difficulty.
Those selling the gold back become more numerous every year after Tinjan, and they still remain until May, but this year till July. The owners of gold shops hope those selling the gold back will be more than now, and they focus that the gold price will remain between 1.215 million jets and 1.22 million jets. Ujawin, chair of Myanmar Gold Entrepreneurs Association, said.
ကမ္ဘာရွှေဈေးကရှေ့အလားလာတော့တက်မှာပေါ့တက်ဖို့ပိုများတယ်ပေါ့ဘာလို့
The global gold price is skyrocketing. When the world economy is not certain, gold is bought after selling share. Therefore, the gold price is soaring. But the dollar price goes down in the world. Our country is also the same matter. If the dollar price does not hike, the gold price is stable. The global gold price is likely to go up in the future. All the countries will have to try for an economic recovery. For this, all the countries will have to spend a large sum of money. For that reason, the exchange rate will be soft, but the global gold price will be robust. In the rainy season, both production and demand are not good, and so the local gold price will remain stable. The dollar price goes down and demand is not much. The gold producing companies need to renew their licensing in order to continue their work. In the rainy season, it is not easy to produce gold too much, and the demand is low, and so the gold price remains unchanged.
From 2016 to 2019, the domestic gold market had to experience increases and decreases in the price. The gold price remained at around 800,000 jets per nickel in 2016, at around 900,000 jets in 2017, at around 1 million jet in 2018, at around 1.1 million jet in 2019, and at around 1.2 million in 2010, respectively.
That's the report on demand low in domestic gold market amid COVID-19. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. In Yangon, many arrangements of coconut and banana can be seen at the pagodas and also ritual offering at almost every house. This is the peak time of coconut and banana market, the moment the distributors and sellers waiting for. The outbreak of COVID-19 dragged down the peak period of coconut and banana market.
The arrangement of the coconut and banana is a ritual offering in celebrations of Myanmar people. Being the main sources of ritual offering, the coconut and banana market comes alive when the month of Waso sets in. Just before the beginning of the month of Waso, huge religious festivals are held in all parts across the country, where the coconut and banana are used as their main offering. The outbreak of COVID-19 dragged down the peak period of coconut and banana market because of the ban on mass gathering of more than 5 people except for workplaces. The religious festivals cannot be held as usual. Moreover, the pagodas have been closed for months. These circumstances triggered by the COVID-19 lead to the great loss in coconut and banana market. Speaking to Myanmar Radio about the current conditions of banana and coconut market, Ko Tabao, owner of banana and coconut market shop in Bienao Market, said.
Our shop usually sells around 10,000 sets of coconut and banana per week and around 60,000 sets per month. We used to distribute the coconuts and bananas to the shops in Shiragong and Bodotown Pagodas. About 25,000 to 30,000 sets of coconut and banana per month were sold out by these shops at Pagoda. But now all the pagodas are not allowed to reopen and still shut down. So obviously we have suffered about 20 to 30% drop in the sale. Then the rest 70% of the sales are resuming gradually. But it will take some days to get back to normal sales in the market. This year there are 2 periods for Waso, so the sales are also a bit cold. We hope the sales will be faster in the second period of Waso.
Currently, the price of a coconut for retail offering are between 800 kyats to 900 kyats, and the price of the peeled coconut is between 600 kyats to 700 kyats, and smaller size for that is 450 kyats to 500 kyats. Ko Win Thai Tui, owner of Miba Jesu Banana Wholesale Shop, said.
The price of banana in the market remains normal. The maximum prices for a bunch of banana depending on its types are 1,500 kyats to 2,500 kyats in the market currently. These prices are not much higher before COVID-19 period. We used to get good sales in this period every year as many people made ritual offering in this month. But the number of the people coming to the markets is still declining and some people also haven't visited the market till now. Our shops are also depending on the sales of the retail shops in the market. As the sales in these shops are cold, the wholesalers are also suffering the impact of economic crisis. But this year the sales are dragging down in some amount.
In Yangon, many arrangements of coconut and banana can be seen at the pagodas and also ritual offering at almost every house. This is the peak time of coconut and banana market, the moment the distributors, sellers waiting for. Mate, coconut and banana retailer from Mobi Township, said.
I usually come and buy coconut and banana here thrice a week. In previous months, because of the outbreak of COVID-19, we sell the fruit at much cheaper prices. There are lesser numbers of customers and we have plenty of coconut and banana. But now we have higher prices, but it is not so much different when compared to the normal price. Right now, since it is the month of Waso, the sale force has risen again. It will be still in good condition until the full moon day of the second Waso. But the previous year's sale force was better than this year's. People tend to spend more on essential consumer goods such as rice or oil. They can also dismiss the culture of celebrating festivals as well as the pagodas are closed.
That's the report on Pagoda still remains closed. Coconut and banana market suffers decline. The market in Myanmar in general sees the slight decline of the market since the outbreak of COVID-19. And according to the people from this sector, it will take some time to get back to normal for the fish market in Myanmar. Willinson will tell us the full report.
The fish market is one of the most important markets domestically as it provides the necessary demand to the consumers market from local market to domestic market. For the big cities like Yangon, many of the hotels depend on this sector to run their business. Therefore, this fish market is interrelated with many other businesses as well. However, with the outbreak of COVID-19, this sector also see a slight decline of the market since the end of March, and many of the business persons from this sector say that it is all related to the restrictions imposed by the government to avoid further spread of the virus in Myanmar. Dorji Jinai is one of the shopkeepers at Central Sambia Fish Market in Jiminai Township, and speaking to MI Radio about the current situation of the fish market, she said,
For now, the sale is not bad for us, but I cannot say that it is good either. It is not that doing well, but quite neutral to be honest. It used to be a good business to run earning enough for livelihood. But after the outbreak of COVID-19, it has declined slightly, and for now I can sell only about 2/3 of the products, but it is not too bad either. For the price-wise, there is no difference from what we used to have before COVID-19 and now. The only issue we face is sometimes the source run out of the products, which affects us all.
This market is also providing the demand of fish in domestic market as well. Therefore, this market is busy for 24 hours in a day. The workers here are working 2 shifts ton by ton for 12 hours each. As the ships to deliver fish at this market is non-stop, there's always a need of labor at this market round the clock in a day. Ko Jonai is in charge of this fish market to inspect the packed fish to be delivered to all parts of Myanmar, whether the fish are qualified or not, and the quality of the packaging, and he also spoke to MI Radio.
When compared to the previous year, for now the sale of fish is declining. The market is open from 4 a.m. in the morning. The real peak hour is less only 1 hour, and the customers have to rush between the new market and this market. We have only 2 gates, one for the entrance and another one for the exit. Vehicles with loaded fish are not allowed to enter into the market. This market is used to crowded till 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. in the night, but for now we only open this market at 4 a.m. in the morning, and the real-time peak hour is about 1 hour. So one can imagine how declined this market is for now.
Domyamya A is another fish seller at Sambia Fish Market since her childhood, and she also spoke to MI Radio.
Even though the number of virus cases is down, for fish sector here, the sale is not doing well yet. Before, we used to sell at night from 6 p.m. in the evening and by 4 a.m. in the morning. We left for home with a profit of around 20,000, but for now, the sale is down and I'm not even able to cover my travel fare and food. The profit is just barely 5,000 to 6,000 in a day, and it has been a struggle for me and my family to survive on this small income.
Some of the fish see the decline of the price as there is few customers. This is Willinson for MI Radio.
That's the report on fish business sees slight slow. Now let's move on to international news. There are about 10.9 million confirmed COVID-19 cases globally, with over 519,000 fatalities and more than 5.7 million recoveries, according to the latest tally from Johns Hopkins University. Here is what we know so far. The Chinese mainland has recorded 83,542 COVID-19 cases. Its death toll stands at 4,648, including 7 from the Hong Kong SAR and 7 from the Taiwan region. Beijing reported 2 new domestically transmitted cases on Thursday. The Chinese capital has seen a total of 331 local infections since June 11th. 7 of those patients have now recovered. In the United States, over 54,000 people tested positive for coronavirus on Thursday, setting a new one-day record. The country now has over 2.7 million confirmed cases. Britain will release details of a plan on easing its quarantine measures for air travelers, a spokesman for Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced on Thursday. New Zealand's Health Minister David Clark resigned on Thursday following recent slip-ups in the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and personal mistakes. The Ministry of Information on Thursday said at least 162 people were killed in a landslide at a jade mine in northern Myanmar and more are trapped. According to a statement released on Wednesday night, the government of China's Hong Kong Special Administrative Region condemns rioters' violent behaviors during Wednesday's protests, stressing a zero-tolerance attitude towards any illegal acts that undermine the peace of the society. The Chinese envoy on Thursday asked the United Nations Security Council to push for positive responses to UN Secretary General's appeal for a global ceasefire amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And it has adopted a resolution endorsing the appeal. The Security Council should work to accelerate its realization. Zhang Zheng, who is China's permanent representative to the United Nations, said the international community should seize the opportunity to encourage the parties involved in conflicts to respond to the appeal by immediately ceasing hostilities, jointly fighting the pandemic, saving lives, and seeking peaceful settlements through political and diplomatic means. He told a high-level debate on the implications of COVID-19 on international peace and security. Zhang also asked the Council to step up humanitarian assistance and make every effort to ensure the safety and security of peacekeepers. And that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining me on Myanmar Today. Stay safe.